If you're getting ready to turn 65 soon or you're thinking about retiring, chances are you've started to look into the Medicare program a little bit. And if you're like most people, you might be overwhelmed trying to understand exactly all the different parts of Medicare and how to know which Medicare plan is right for you. Well, good news. In this video, I'm going to break down the Medicare program into the 4 different parts. I'm going to show you what those are and hopefully bring a little bit of clarity for you. If you're new here, my name is Jamie. I'm a licensed insurance agent. I help people all over the country understand how the Medicare program works, as well as connect them with the coverage that fits their needs. Best of all, my services are free. So, if you are new to Medicare, you've probably heard about the parts of Medicare. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to show you what is called the Medicare and You Handbook. And in this handbook, on page 9, we see the breakdown of the different parts of Medicare. If you would like a digital copy of this book, I'll leave a link to it in the comments so that you can download it and read it for yourself. But in the Medicare and You Handbook, this is for the 2025 book, what we see right away are the different parts of Medicare. So let's look at this together. So the very first part of Medicare is known as Part A, and this is your hospital insurance. Most people do not pay a monthly premium on Medicare Part A, but there is a deductible. So if you were to go into the hospital, there would be a deductible that you would pay. The Part A covers inpatient care, skilled nursing facility care, hospice care, home health care, and then again it points to pages 25 and 29 to learn more about that. Next is Part B, Part B of Medicare. Part B is known as your medical insurance. This does have a monthly premium. In 2025, it will be $185 a month. It also has a deductible. In 2025, the deductible will be $257. So A and B is what you get when you sign up for what's known as original Medicare through Social Security. For most people, they do this when they turn 65. The medical insurance will cover your doctors, other healthcare providers, outpatient care, home health care, durable medical equipment, and also many preventative services like screenings, shots, or vaccines, and yearly wellness visits. One thing I will mention to you is this is something a lot of people don't know, but Medicare does not give you an annual physical. They call it a wellness visit, so just something to keep in the back of your mind. Next, as we scroll down, we're going to see Part D, and you're saying, what happened to C? Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Part D, this is easy to remember, is just the Medicare drug part of the Medicare program. So Part D is for prescription drug coverage. So you have A, you have B, and you have D. Those are that's kind of the foundation of the Medicare program. So if we scroll down here, what you're going to see is the path that you have to receive your Medicare benefits. And this is where Medicare Part C comes in, because Medicare Part C is also known as a Medicare Advantage plan. This is a replacement to original Medicare. It's a managed care plan that is managed through a private health insurance company. This is one of the things that I see most common among people when it comes to the confusion. So many people, they intermingle the word supplement and they mix that with advantage. So in other words, a lot of people will say, well, I have a supplemental plan. Well, what they really have is a Medicare Advantage plan. Many times, that's what I find. The key thing that you want to remember from this video is that you have, as you can see here, 2 different paths to Medicare, and you have to choose one of these paths. So either you choose original Medicare, some people call it traditional Medicare, and how that works is if you use traditional Medicare, this is your Part A and your Part B, and then as we mentioned, you can also join a separate Medicare drug plan, which is recommended. If you do original Medicare, then you can use any doctor or hospital that takes Medicare anywhere in the continental United States. And you can also shop for and buy a supplemental coverage that helps you pay out of some of your out-of-pocket costs. This is known as a Medigap plan. So the key thing to know about traditional Medicare or original Medicare is that it doesn't cover 100%. So this year the Part B premium was $174. In 2025, it'll be $185. Regardless of which path that you choose to receive your Medicare benefits, you have to have A and B in place. And it doesn't cover 100%. It covers 80%. And so that is where the idea of a Medicare supplement or a Medigap plan comes from. That's why that product exists. It's to cover your leftover or your out-of-pocket exposure, so to speak, from original Medicare. So a lot of people do this path. They choose to use original Medicare, and then they add a Part D plan, and they'll add a supplement policy. Many times you'll hear this described in words like, or titles like Plan G or Plan N. Those are 2 of the very popular Medicare supplement plans. And again, it helps pay some costs that other parts don't cover. This includes Medicare supplement insurance, and then it gives you, again, a link to go to look at that information in this book. The other side of Medicare, so to speak, or the other way to receive your Medicare benefits is what's known as Medicare Advantage plans. And so let's look at that really quick here together. So I'm going to just blow this up for you and then slide it down so we can read it together. So again, Medicare Advantage is an alternative way to receive your Medicare benefits. And it is a managed care plan through a private health insurance company. So what happens is when you choose a Medicare Advantage plan, it's a Medicare approved plan from a private company that offers an alternative to your original Medicare for your health and drug coverage. These bundled plans include Part A, Part B, and usually Part D. Now, here's where it's different than traditional Medicare, and it's something you want to be aware of. In many cases, you may need to get approval from your plan before it covers certain drugs or services. So right away, what we see here is that with traditional or original Medicare, you can go anywhere in the continental United States and see any provider that offers traditional or original Medicare. With Medicare Advantage, many times you have to stay within that plan's network of doctors. So for me as an agent, if I'm talking to someone and they want a Medicare Advantage, what we have to do is we have to go through and we have to make sure their doctors are in network, their clinic is in network, any specialists that they see are in network, the hospital they want to go to is in network. There's due diligence that you have to do if you choose a Medicare Advantage plan. Here's the next big thing to note. In many cases, you may need to get approval from your plan before it covers certain drugs or services. Again, this is under Medicare Advantage. This is known as prior authorization. You can do your own research on that. There's plenty of information out there, but in my situation, I'll give you a personal story, and that is that my younger sister who's on disability, she has a Medicare Advantage plan because she is a Medicare beneficiary now due to being on disability. Well, she has had some cancer, And when she has had to go to get some of the treatments done for that cancer, in some of the situations, the doctors had to get prior authorization. They had to get approval from the insurance company to cover the test. And so that's something that you want to be aware of when you choose a Medicare Advantage plan. The cost on these vary. So as you can see here, it says plans often have different out-of-pocket costs than original Medicare or supplemental coverage like Medigap. You may also have an additional premium. Plans may offer some extra benefits that original Medicare doesn't. And many times what you'll see with that is it's vision, dental, hearing, those types of things. It does include usually prescription drug coverage, but it's just a different way to receive your benefits that you want to be aware of. So in this short video today, we have looked at the 4 parts of Medicare. Again, just to recap, Part A is hospital, Part B is medical, Part D is drug. By the way, you would only get a Part D if you were going to use original Medicare and a supplement. And then you have Part C, which is known as Medicare Advantage Plan. The one thing that I always chuckle at is when I talk to people, when people come to me to talk to me about their Medicare, many times they want to jump right to the company. What company should I use? Or, they'll say, which company is best? I always want to slow down the conversation and say, wait a minute. We need to understand first how the Medicare program works, because in some ways the company at the beginning is irrelevant. You have to decide which path that you want to choose, right? Do you want to choose original Medicare or do you want to choose Medicare Advantage? There's 2 paths in front of you and you have to pick one of them. And so if we just jump right over that conversation and we go right to the company, what company is the best company, all that sort of stuff, and you don't understand or you're not comprehending how the plan, how Medicare works, then I feel like I'm doing a disservice to you, because here's the thing, you could be on Medicare for a long time, and if you don't understand how the program works and somebody comes along and says, our company's better, our plan is better, and you don't know how it works, you might say, oh, okay, well, let me hear what you have to say. And that happens all the time. And so it's much more important to me that people first and foremost have a firm understanding of how the Medicare program itself works. And then we can have a conversation about, okay, if you chose a Medicare supplement, here's some of the carriers, here's some of the prices. If you chose a Medicare Advantage, okay, here's some of the companies, here's how the pricing works on these. So I hope that makes sense. If it did, please hit the like button. And if you do have any questions about Medicare, feel free to leave me a comment below. I'm happy to answer them if I can. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Have a great day.